Hi, everyone, and welcome to your 5-element movement practice. This is designed to give you insight into your constitutional archetype according to the 5-element theory from traditional Chinese medicine. Understanding your constitutional archetype will help to unlock the secrets to supporting your health and your well-being. Our experience shows us that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. It's necessary to understand who you are in order to optimize your radiant health. Using this framework incorporates knowledge derived from thousands of years, and it will help you to further understand who you are and how to support your well-being. So, are you ready to get started? We just can't wait to hear what element you are. Water elements quite literally go with the flow and are flexible and amenable to change. You appreciate quiet time, journaling, introspection, and deep conversation. You bring a calming energy wherever you go, and it ripples out to everyone that you have contact with. Your watery qualities allow you to move through life with great ease and flow, and you approach problems with creativity and curiosity. You excel at thinking outside of the box and exploring alternate pathways and possibilities. Your ease and flow can sometimes leave you disconnected from others, though, and sometimes you feel misunderstood. Retreating into solitude only perpetuates the problem, so ensure that you seek out connection with others during times like this. Since water in the body is so closely linked to the kidneys, water constitutions can often be prone to low back pain. Ensure that you are supporting yourself by sitting in a good desk chair, you're stretching daily, and you're incorporating good core strengthening into your regular routine.
Hello, water element. Welcome to your movement experience. Today you'll need a chair to sit on that is sturdy. And we're going to start with bringing the feet and the knees a little wider than the hips. You can rest your hands down onto your thighs and lengthen up the center of your spine. Start to lift from your heart as you begin to hinge forward at your hips, folding over. Allow your head to release down, hanging heavy, and then start to draw back through your belly button, curling your spine back and rolling back behind the edge of your sitting bones to stack your spine right back up. We're making a spinal wave here. Continue to lift your heart forward as you come down, pressing your thighs out on the way down. Release your head, your neck, your shoulders, and begin to pull back through your tummy again to round your spine, coming all the way back up. Let's keep going with this. Arching the spine forward, nice straight back, open chest. Releasing down and rolling back up inside. One more this direction. Extending. Keep breathing as you move like a wave. And as you come back up, we're going to reverse that direction. So begin to bring your chin to your chest. Imagine yourself diving into the water here, pressing down through your feet, submerging under. And then, like a happy little dolphin, stick your nose back up out of the water, lifting back to the surface. And we'll do that again. Chin down towards the chest, curling back through your spine, and start to roll through. At the bottom, lead with your head and chest. Begin to extend your spine, coming right back up towards the ceiling. We'll go 2 more times in this direction. Round spine to go down, articulating through your joints of your back and using the pressure through your hands and feet to help support you. One last time. This is one of my favorite movements to do to stretch out my back. Lifting back up to the top, And then settle yourself back down onto your sitting bones. See if you can feel them rooted into the chair. Just give your ribs a little bit of a wobble side to side. And I'd like you to imagine yourself in the water. And your spine is like seaweed in the water. And you can just start to sway from side to side, almost as though you hear something off in the distance calling you. And you get dragged over into that direction. Keep using that foundation through your feet, gently pushing and pulling. Try to keep your chest up and your neck relaxed as you sway back and forth, side to side, continuing to breathe with this movement. And we'll just go through one more repetition on either side, swaying and returning back into center. Go ahead and settle yourself there. These two movement pieces are a wonderful way to get your entire spine moving and starting to feel a little more connected to your element of water.
Wood constitutions are constantly looking for growth. You seek out knowledge, growth, and development opportunities around you. You're action oriented, you get things done, and always like to be on a forward moving trajectory. You're someone who's driven to make change, to get results, and create breakthrough systems and opportunities. Your ability to work well under pressure and thrive in stressful situations allows your creative, courageous, and resourceful qualities to emerge and shine. Be careful with that drive, though. Pushing too hard can sometimes leave you feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and even burnt out. This shows up for you as frustration and anger, which does not support the quality of your relationships. Because of that drive and your go, go, go attitude, wood elements can be prone to high blood pressure, headaches, and body pain. Make sure you're spending time each day doing something that's both relaxing and calming so that you can always feel centered and well.
Welcome, wood element. We are going to begin in a chair, seated. And we'll start by opening up across our chest, thinking of our arms as though they were the branches of our trees. Let's begin reaching the arms directly forward and touching the fingertips together. Press down into your feet and into your sitting bones and lengthen up into the center of your spine. Begin to swing your arms back behind you, reaching as far back as you can. Perhaps you can touch the sides of your chair. And then start to come forward again, fingers coming together and opening back, reaching back towards the back of the chair. Keep going with this as you're moving. See if you can keep yourself very stable in your sitting bones and in your feet and lifted through the crown of your head so you feel buoyant and alive. We'll go one more time just like that. And then coming back into center, release your arms down and wiggle your feet out and apart away from each other. Stretching your toes out, come to the very front edge of your chair and begin to lean forward with a nice, strong, straight back. Start to push weight down into your heels. See if you can activate the muscles underneath your legs. And then start to reach your arms up away from you, plugging your shoulders into your back. Push down through your feet and begin to lift up to come to stand. We're going to slide ourselves right back down towards the chair. Go ahead and hinge back through your bum. See if you can find the edge of your chair gently, releasing back into center. Good, let's do that again. Stretching forward, leaning to the edge of the chair. Put your weight into your heels. Push down to stand up, getting tall and buoyant. And let's come right back down again. Hinging, press the knees out. Find the edge of your chair. and gently release your arms. We're going to go one more time and come up to stand, and we'll stay standing. Reaching the spine forward, the arms forward, shoulders into your back. Feel the weight in your heels and stand up. Release your arms down by your sides and walk your legs towards each other. So we're going to turn our chair and move it just slightly out of the way and come back into that wide turnout position. So your chair is there if you need any extra assistance with balancing or feeling a little more stable today. If you feel okay, let's start to find again that widening of the knees coming down. Just a little bit, the hips hinge forward here. Not too much though, we're not coming into that complete forward fold this time. And then go ahead and start to lift one arm up overhead and see if you can arc your spine over like a tree swaying in a breeze. Come on back through center, release your arm and press your legs back up to straight. Let's go the other side. Bending your knees down gently, pressing the thighs back. Reach the other arm up over your head and start to side bend this way. Swaying through the rib cage, we lift back through center, release the arm, and press your legs all the way back up. Let's do that once more on either side. Bend your knees, reach your arm, stay level through your hips if you can as you sway through your ribs, pushing down into the ground to feel that foundation in your legs, those strong tree trunks of legs coming down. We lift and arc, flexible and yet nice and stable. Go ahead and wiggle your feet back together. Once again, that chair is there. If you need a little extra assist, you can always turn to face towards your chair, and we'll bring our feet so they're hip joint distance apart and parallel. If you don't need a chair for balance, just let your arms rest by your sides and shine your palms forward to open up through your chest. Begin to push down into your toes, and this time lift your heels up off of the floor, keeping your ankles close towards one another. See if you can balance up here as you now bend your knees, keeping the back nice and long. We're just doing a micro bend, so not going super low with this today. And then lower your heels down into the floor and press your legs all the way back to straight, getting strong. Let's go again, rising up to the top, and then go ahead and bend your knees again, squatting down gently, heels back to the floor, root down, and press your legs back up to straight. One more time, we lift, getting tall, and we bend, sustaining ourselves here. Heels back to the ground, rooting into the floor and pushing the legs back to straight. We're going to reverse that now. Go ahead and bend your knees. See if you can feel those roots of your toes into the ground as you lift your heels off. Push down through your toes and rise up into the crown of your head, getting taller, and lower your heels right back down to the floor. Bend your knees forward, sliding your back down. Pull your heels up out of the ground. Push down to rise up, getting a little taller here. And then once again, heels back down onto the ground. Great job. These movements are fabulous for getting a little more connected to that solid root into your center while still feeling flexible and able to wobble just like a tree out into the forest. Thank you so much for joining.
As you can guess, fire constitutions have fiery personalities. This means that you're passionate, joyful, and love engaging with other people. You laugh easily, communicate freely, and you're known as the life of the party. When you are in balance, you're in perfect connection with others. Your relationships resonate deeply, your love is passionate, and your friendships are engaging. You're always active, and you're certainly never bored. Be careful though, because you lean in and trust so openly, you can sometimes be left feeling vulnerable and raw. Your gift of trust is indeed a gift, but can leave you feeling situations of heartbreak and unease as a result. Fire elements can be prone to anxiety, agitation, and insomnia because that fire energy isn't being anchored. Be sure to incorporate practices of grounding each day, even if it's just being aware of your feet firmly planted into the ground.
Welcome, fire element. We are going to get started right down onto our backs. So you can bend your knees and roll yourself down. Place your arms alongside your body and slide your shoulder blades underneath you so your chest is open. Separate your feet so they're roughly hip joint distance apart and fairly close in towards your body. Press down through your fingertips and begin to draw your waist into the floor, curling your tailbone up. Keep going with this and start to rise up, lifting bone by bone right up onto the backs of your shoulders. As you're lifting up to the top here, be sure not to thrust your ribs up. Instead, push up with that strength underneath you from your gluteals and your hamstrings here. And then start at the top of your spine and begin to melt your way down, bone by bone, easing through right back onto the ground, all the way back onto the center of your tailbone. Let's do that again. We rock the hips under, pushing down through your feet and rolling up to open up through the front of the hips, up into your chest. And then once again, begin to release from the top of your spine. See if you can curl your pelvis under to get more connection of your waist down into the ground. Releasing right back onto your tailbone. We're going to go one more and add on this time. We curl under, rolling right up through joint by joint up to the top. As you arrive up at the top, push down through your heels to feel your chest lift higher. And then take your hands and reach them back behind you. Press the fingernails into the floor behind you if you can, stretching out your palms. And then start at the top of your spine again. See if you can let your chest sink down as you continue to try to stretch your fingernails into the floor, making contact through the joints of your back again. Bone by bone, we ease our way back down to the ground, releasing all the way back onto the tailbone and your arms coming right back down by your sides. If that's enough for you, please feel free to take a break. If you'd like one more repetition, we're going to go for it. Peeling off, building a little bit more heat in the body and kind of exploring that strong sensation and strength from our chest and our legs, all of this movement through the outer areas of our body, pouring us right back into our centers. Let's come all the way back down, bone by bone. As you arrive down, go ahead and bend your knees right up into your chest. Give yourself a little squish in. You can hold the fronts of the shins or the backs of the thighs, whatever is more comfortable for you. And then see if you can keep holding your knees and start to bring your nose up in towards your knees, curling into a little ball. Relax your shoulders down your back. Let's go ahead and take both hands onto one leg and go to stretch the other hip out and away from you, reaching that hip open. Stay lifted if you can. Use your leg to curl yourself up a little higher, maybe getting a little smoke into the tummy. Let's change legs, bringing the other leg in, squeezing that shin in towards you as you reach the other hip. And then switch again. Let's keep going, seeing if we can find just a little bit of that resilience up here. Back and forth. If you need to put your head down to modify this, you absolutely can still find that strong work in your center and into your hips with your heads remaining onto the floor. If you're still with me, let's do one more on either side. And then find your way back into center and lower yourself right back down, toes onto the floor. Walk your feet a little bit wider. Open your arms out and begin to allow the legs to rock from side to side. rolling through the back of your hips. Perhaps you can feel a little bit of that internal fire in your belly and in the strength of your pelvis, connecting to your own internal power and heat.
Earth constitutions are known to be down to earth. You're grounded, connected, and you're the ultimate nurturer. Earth constitutions often work in helping professions like healthcare because they value being in service of others. You have deep empathetic qualities, you're patient, and you're an excellent listener. Your commitment to others is unwavering. When you're in balance, you're able to honor your commitments to others and actually gain energy for yourself. But watch out, because your obligations to others can leave you finding it hard to say no in order to honor your own needs in your healthcare. Earth elements always have to remember that old saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Earth elements are prone to digestive issues, especially when under stress. Avoiding sweets, which are your regular cravings, and supporting digestion will help you feel strong instead of feeling depleted.
Hello, Earth Element. I'm delighted that you are here with me. Let's start on our hands and knees, getting connected to the floor. Go ahead and spread out through your fingers and tuck your toes under. See if you can stretch your toes a little bit, making good contact there into the floor. And look down at the ground. Begin to push into your hands as you round your spine up, lifting out, curling your tail under, and releasing your shoulders down your back. And then let's go ahead and reverse the spine, allowing your sitting bones to begin to shine out, your belly to stretch open, and your heart to lift up, looking out. As you look out, keep pushing into the ground gently to feel that support and strength beneath you. Let's go the other direction, rounding the back up, drawing the head down and looking in, connecting into your own center. And then go ahead and reverse again. See what it feels like to move from one end of your spine to the other. So we have the option here to bring the head and tail together at the same time, or we can start at one end of the spine and finish at the other end. See what that feels like to play with today as you spread out through your toes and your fingers, getting a little more grounded, both internally and externally. We're going to finish off with that extended cat, rolling through one last time, opening out. As you arrive out, come back to a neutral position and flatten the tops of your feet. Let your knees open gently and press your hips back to sink down towards a child's pose. If this is an uncomfortable position for you, you can always stay with your hands out in front of you and your hips slightly lifted. If this feels okay for you, you can lower down onto your elbows, perhaps bringing your forehead down to the floor, and maybe even sliding your arms in to come to more of a rest position. Begin to tune into your breath here, expanding and releasing. And one more full breath. And shift your weight, begin to press up. And walk your hands forward again. Tuck your toes under again. And this time bring your hands just a little forward of your shoulders. And begin to push down into your palms and into your toes and start to lift your hips up off of the ground, your knees up off of the ground, and push back through your arms to create a downward facing dog. We're going to keep the knees quite bent to feel a little more grounded here as opposed to pushing up to straight. Let's keep those knees bent and push back and towards the pelvis so you feel more weight going into your toes. Perhaps you can feel your shoulders stretching out a little bit further. And then gently start to sway from side to side, feeling one hand and one foot taking more weight, and then the other, just shifting back and forth, and then gradually coming back into center. Walk your feet and your hands towards each other. Hang down over the fronts of your thighs. Let your knees be soft again. And you can cup your opposite elbows with your hands here if you like. Releasing your tummy towards your thighs. Take a full breath in again. Let it go. And then release your arms and begin to draw up through your tummy. Knees still gently bent. Roll yourself all the way up. Coming all the way back up to standing. Lifting up and opening up. Hopefully feeling a little more grounded and a little more connected to your center earth.
Metal constitutions live into their purpose and are driven by authenticity, integrity, and hard work. You appreciate when there is structure, planning, and order with any project or circumstance. Metal elements are meticulous, detail-oriented, and extremely conscientious, and you're always known for producing excellent work. The work that you engage in is meaningful to you and helps you lean into your life's purpose. Being conscientious and orderly are excellent traits, but when you're out of balance, this can lead to perfectionist tendencies, obsessive compulsive behaviors, rigidity, self-doubt, as well as disappointment in yourself and others. In health, metal constitutions tend to be prone to lung and skin conditions, including frequent colds and infections, slow healing time, a weak voice or cough, eczema, or even psoriasis. Sweating daily and practicing deep breathing techniques will help your pores and your airways stay clear and open.
Hello, Metal. Thank you for joining me. We are going to start lying down onto our sides. You can swing your legs around and tuck yourself in. If you'd like to have a pillow for your head, you're more than welcome to. I like to just bend my elbow and support the side of the neck. And if that works for you, that's great. Feel free to adapt if you need to. We're going to keep our knees bent here, great little stacked position, and use the top hand onto the floor to help support you. So Metal, we are working on finding a little bit of that outer strength and internal softness. From here, begin to roll your shins up and towards the air, allowing your hips to slightly turn down towards the floor. Begin to lift your top knee out to create an opening here, and then close again back down. Keep going, allowing your shoulders and your neck to remain relaxed as you find this strength and resilience into the backside of your hip. Notice how this feels for you. Notice if you want to roll your whole pelvis back, or if you can keep finding this softness in towards the ground. Continuing for just a few more repetitions. Breathing with ease and control. And let's just do one more. And then go ahead and release your knees, release your feet, and use your arms to press yourself all the way back up. Staying on this hip, let your feet and knees slide apart from one another. If you need a cushion underneath your pelvis to feel more comfortable here, please go ahead and take one. Start to lift up through one arm alongside your body, and then gently sway your spine over, stretching out through your ribs, your arm right out into your fingertips. Lift yourself all the way back up and release your palm back onto the ground. We'll go the other way, stretching open, putting weight into that arm beneath you. Try to keep your shoulder away from your ear as you reach the rib cage up, and then lift yourself right back up again. One more time, each direction we float and side bend. Your chest still lifted here as we go. And last one, gently swaying, feeling that connection down into the pelvis and right back up to release. Let's turn the legs around and we'll come back in to our clamshells on the other side. Shimmying yourself down into the side of your body, again supporting your head in a way that makes sense for you. You can use that top hand for support, stacking the hips and lifting the feet gently into the air. Go ahead and start to lift that top thigh open and then gently release back down. Keep going with this action, getting a little bit of that outer line working, as well as connecting back into that inner line, that softness at the center of you. Notice what you feel as you're moving here. Notice if you can feel your relationship to the floor through your bottom thigh. Perhaps you can feel some of that work coming into the back of the hip again. Perhaps you can feel your breath moving fluidly through your body. Let's just go one or two more if you can. And then letting it go. Releasing the shins back down to the ground. Use your arms to support you, to press yourself back up, and once again, slide your feet and your knees apart to sit into your pelvis. Let's go ahead and stretch one arm up tall and start to side bend the rib cage over again. Lift yourself all the way back, release to the ground, and we'll go the other way, stretching up and arcing over. Most of the weight can remain back into your center, into your hips. So we're not putting a ton of weight into the arms here as we do this. Arcing again through the side of your body. And one more time we reach, releasing the neck and the head, and coming all the way back up. And go ahead and find a comfortable position for you. And take a full breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. Great job, Metal. I hope you are feeling more connected to your element.
Thank you, everyone, for being part of this 5-element movement practice. We hope it helped you to gain some insight into which elemental constitution you are. Still not sure? Be sure to check out our quiz, and we would love to connect with you and support you in your journey to your elemental radiance.